I keep my goals to myself, cause whenever I share it with folks, they get a look upon their face and their memory floats to a time where their goals and the stars ain't...
What's good? They say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting to get a different result. That sounds like the bloodline. This makes zero sense. Triple H is a clown. He basically ended Raw the same way he ended Backlash 48 hours prior. And that was having Roman Reigns being absolutely obliterated by Jacob Fatu. And it makes no sense because the angle that they did at Backlash, you would presume that Roman wouldn't be there until June. It's like, what are we doing here? What in the hell are we doing when it comes to Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns? Triple H has no idea what he's doing. He has no idea what he's doing. People are constantly complaining about how there's no actual wrestling main event to end the show. And it's like, you don't need a wrestling main event to end a show. Not all the time. Sometimes that's fine if you have other things that happen in the show that's worthwhile. But just, well, we want to see this guy against that guy, in the main event just to close the show. It's like, no, that makes no sense. So I don't know. At this point, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I really don't. It's like WWE as a whole is like a hamster on a wheel. That's all it is. And it just keeps going around in circles and circles and circles. Like, there's nothing on this show that was interesting. I don't know what on this show was interesting. Nothing. This show was boring, and ultimately it was a waste of time, right? Raw is slightly better than SmackDown. Slightly. Not by much, but slightly. But it is what it is. So we're going to get into Monday Night Raw from May the 11th, 2026. So we kicked the show off with Roman Reigns. We have a video package. So, well, no, not a video package, I'm sorry. So Roman Reigns pulls up in a shiny Jeep. So he had a discussion with Adam Pearce about the threat of Jacob Fatu. Roman told Adam Pearce that he must wait until Jacob acknowledges him before taking him out. And that was it. I'm like, okay, this makes no sense. Again, Roman didn't even sell this thing like I thought he was. I thought that we weren't going to see Roman at least until early June, right? Because apparently, according to reports and rumors, Roman was going to take some time off. But that shit didn't happen. And again, if this is all that's going to come of it is just, basic brawling and attack and Jacob beating the shit out of Roman basically every other week, that's not cool. It's like, this feud needs to continue. It needs to progress. Roman should have sold this for a while, right? You could have had the Usos try to, talk some sense into Jacob for a couple weeks and everything else. Because we can't continue to do Jacob Fatu constantly destroying Roman Reigns. He's done it like 3 times already. He did it during the contract signing. He did it at Backlash, and he did it tonight, right? It makes no fucking sense. It's dumb. It really is dumb. But, hey, it is what it is. Triple H, he's booking this show. It's about ice cream. I get to choose chocolate and vanilla. And that's all Triple H is doing. He's not adding, any new flavors. He's not adding, like a strawberry or a rocky road or cookies and cream and pistachio, a mixture of chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. It's the same old shit. And it's not cool. I don't know, man. I really don't. Moving on from that, we get into some more nonsense that's not important, and that is the Vision. Yes, they still exist. So basically, Paul Heyman came out with the Vision to put over Bron Breakker and everything else. So Paul Heyman put over Bron Breakker for beating Seth Rollins at Backlash this past Saturday. Paul Heyman claimed that Seth was not ready for Braun or for Paul Heyman to be the Oracle of Bron Breakker. And Paul Heyman wants to get rid of any form of working partnership with Seth Rollins in the Vision. So Austin Theory gets on the mic. He talks shit about the Street Profits and everything else. The Street Profits, they show up. Logan Paul made fun of Montez and everything else and like how he has to work because Bianca is, the breadwinner and she's more over than him and yada, yada, yada. So then basically Montez Ford responds by saying that he admits that he needs to make money to pay the bills, but also he wants to beat up the tag team champions. And so basically Logan Paul issues a challenge to the Street Profits. Trey Hendry comes out to sing the song of Fire Logan Paul and all that other shit. Then this leads us into the first match of the night, which I didn't really care too much about. I wasn't really all interested in this. And that was the Street Profits and Joe Hendry defeating the Vision. This was way too damn long. I have no idea. And I'm guessing we're gonna get the match at Saturday night's main event. You might as well just do it at Clash in Italy. Because that show will be the following week. Because Saturday night's main event is not important. It never really has been important under Triple H, really. It's just been a glorified fucking house show. So, there's that. Again, I don't care about this. Seth Rollins showed up to cost the Vision the win. And then him and Bron Breakker, they had a small little mini brawl briefly. Then Braun got back up, got into the ring. He speared Angelo Dawkins. It was intended for Rollins, but Rollins got out of dodge. And, but before Rollins got speared, he ended up helping out Angelo Dawkins. And then Montez Ford and Seth Rollins started, having a little shoving match and everything else. I'm just like, man, what the fuck? This is so stupid. Moving on, this leads us into Adam Pearce. He was backstage with El Grande Americano, the original El Grande Americano Gable, and the Creed brothers. They get interrupted by Judgment Day. So an argument ensues between both teams, and that was it. And so Adam Pearce ends up making a match for Dom's AAA Mega Championship later on in the night. All right, that's fine. Whatever. Who gives a damn? Moving on. This leads us into Penta. He came out, got a good reaction as per usual. He cut out Ethan Page. And then Ethan Page claimed that Penta might be afraid to lose to him again. So Penta wanted to do the match right here and now for the IC title. But Ethan Page, he ended up putting over the prestige of the title, which was great. And Ethan Page continued on by saying that he wanted to put the title on the line at Saturday Night's Main Event. So then Rusev came out. He was upset that Ethan Page is getting a title shot before him. He was also a part of the winning team last week, which is true. Ethan Page said he told Adam Pearce that Rusev deserved the title shot as well. Then he was interrupted by Javon Evans. So Javon Evans came out to talk his piece. And then Ethan Page ends up shoving Javon Evans into Rusev, which sets up for their match. So Javon Evans defeats Rusev via the OG cutter. It is what it is. Match was okay. At least they're trying to rebuild Rusev, but does it really matter? No, it don't. It really does not. Under no circumstances does it matter. Again, another thing on this show that I don't give a fuck about. It's almost like that's what this whole show was. It was a nothing burger. It was a nothing burger, man. Whatever, though. Moving on, this leads us into EO Sky. So she was seen stretching backstage. So Asuka shows up. Both of them got a good reaction. Asuka told EO she's proud of her and excited for EO to take over Asuka's spot. EO says goodbye, and they hug and embrace, and then she says that they'll always be family. And then Asuka leaves with her bags. So, again, we don't know what this means. We don't. And I don't really want to speculate anything. But maybe Asuka wants some time off, possibly. And maybe she's dealing with some personal issues, probably. And maybe she wants to go to Japan for a little bit. I could see her coming back probably at about SummerSlam. So I think a good 3 months of her, clearing her head, dealing with whatever personal stuff she has to deal with, and then coming back. But I could see when she comes back, did they end up putting her in some type of ambassador role, but also put her in the role of like a Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton type of deal, where we only see her a few times a year. And I think that would be great when we see Asuka like at WrestleMania, the Rumble, SummerSlam, and maybe Survivor Series. Because Asuka's done everything that you can do. She's done everything. She's done it all. She's been multiple tag team champ, multiple world champ, for the women. The longest reigning NXT women's champion. So Asuka's done a ton, and well deserved. So there is that. But it's interesting how it's interesting about all this, really. If you take time to think about it, it's interesting. I don't really know what's Asuka's next move once she gets back. I have no idea. I really don't. So we wish her all the best, and thank you, Asuka. But she'll definitely be back. I don't know when. I'm hoping SummerSlam. If not, she might come back in September. But she'll definitely be back for sure. She probably just wants to take care of some personal things and get everything like that squared away. And basically probably just have like a real long vacation, a real long mental vacation, and just figure out what she wants to do when she comes back. Because again, I don't know what you could do with Asuka. I don't. I really don't know what you can do with Asuka. I don't. She's done it all, so you can't send her. You can't send her to NXT. You could put her in an ambassador role, so you could do that. You could put her in as a coach. You could put her in as a producer. There is stuff that you can do with Asuka. It's just I don't know what you can do with her in ring when she comes back. Again, Asuka's in her 40s. She's 44. And, yeah. So, hopefully it'll work out for her. And I believe in my heart of hearts it will. All right, moving on from that. This leads us into Brie Bella and Paige. I wanted to bang my head against the wall and lose all consciousness. I really did. So Paige and Brie said that they're ready ready for a fight. They called out the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day, they show up. Roxanne Perez called Paige and Brie old and brought up how she met Brie when she was younger. Brie said that she was disappointed that Roxanne Perez is the footnote of the Judgment Day. And then Raquel Rodriguez called out Paige's past scandals. Then a brawl broke out. Whatever. I don't give a fuck about this. This is dumb. I have no idea why Raquel tried to bring up Paige's scandals. All that stuff happened years ago. Like, who cares? Like, it makes no sense. That happened years ago. Like, it's not important. All this stuff happened, like, at least a good 8 to 10 years ago. Right? I don't know, man. Fuck this shit. Moving on, man. Jimmy Uso, he meets up with Roman, who asks about Jay. Jimmy told Roman that he was outside waiting for Jacob so he could talk to him, talk him out of going to the ring tonight. Roman said Jacob made a promise to acknowledge him and needs to be a man of his word. Roman told Jimmy if Jacob doesn't acknowledge him, then he's out of WWE. Okay, whatever. Moving on, this leads us into a decent match between Sol Ruca versus Io Sky. Io Sky defeated Sol Ruca. Match was pretty okay. Don't know why you do two babyfaces together and book them against each other, but I don't fucking know. I guess that's Triple H's booking now. You know, babyface versus babyface. And they've been doing that for years. They do it in NXT sometimes as well. So I don't know, man. I don't. So Ruka, she's now 2-1, right? She suffered her second loss. So I don't know. What are we going to do with Sol Ruca? Like, who is she going to feud with? She's got to feud with somebody. See, I would love if Raquel Rodriguez was on her own and she was a heel, which she is, but you could feud Sol Ruca and Raquel together for a little while. Just do some personal feuds. Maybe they're building her up to go against Liv Morgan, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to think, who is the women's... Oh, yeah, Becky Lynch. Okay, yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot about that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me. They are going to feud Becky Lynch and Sol Ruca. Okay, that's fine. I forgot all about that. I forgot all about that shit. Okay, that's fine. I'm surprised that Becky wasn't on this show to maybe beat up Sol Ruca so that way they can start their feud. I don't want them to face each other at Saturday Night's Main Event. They'll probably end up facing each other, or at least start their feud, I would say, at Clash in Italy. Because Becky, she will do international shows, sending with Seth Rollins. So I expect for both of them to be on the Clash in Italy show. So they'll be on the card for sure. And I think you got a few weeks until the end of May. So you got time to build their feud. And then hopefully they can feud Io and... Well, no. I was going to say with Io, she's probably going to be the one to dethrone Liv Morgan. Again, I don't see Liv Morgan being champion too long. I could see her losing it in July, or maybe just losing it at SummerSlam. So I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. Moving on. This leads us into what else happened on this miserable show. Oh yeah. Dominic Mysterio defeats Grande Americano Chad Gable. He retains the AAA Mega Championship. Who really cares? We all knew that Dom wasn't going to lose. Whatever. Finn Balor was on this show. So he ended up taking out JD McDonough. So whatever. So it seems like they're going to have Finn Balor go after Dom again, which is fine, I guess. I don't fucking know, man. I really don't. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't give a shit about this. Moving on from that, this leads us into more Vision stuff. They were on this show, and they were backstage. So Logan Paul called out Joe Hendry. Jackie Hendry, my bad. Jackie Redmond, she asked Austin Theory about their upcoming title match. Austin Theory just he dismisses the question, and then they leave. So whatever, they're gonna get some alcohol. They're gonna get some tomahawks. Whatever. Who gives a shit? I don't. Moving on. Roman Reigns shows up along with Jimmy Uso. So Roman wanted Knoxville, Tennessee to acknowledge him. They do. So Jacob, he showed up at the arena, and Jay walked with him, trying to talk some sense into him. So Roman was in the ring waiting for Jacob. So Jacob then snapped and then beat the shit out of Jay Uso pretty bad. And Jimmy walked up the ramp to fight Jacob. Jacob destroyed Jimmy. And then Jacob crept under the ring. So then he emerged from under the ring. And then him and Roman, they immediately started brawling. Jacob beat the fuck out of Roman. He got him in the Tongan death grip. He put him through the announce table. He powerbombed him through the announce table. I think Jacob did another death grip, which he did. And Jacob then held the World Heavyweight Championship over his shoulder once again, like he did at Backlash, and then that was the show. It's like rinse and repeat. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing here? This is lame. This is lame beyond belief. Triple H has missed the plot. Raw is very, very boring. Very, very boring. But it is what it is. Again, Roman's going to more than likely miss Clash in Italy. So we have to deal with this for about a good 5 to 6 weeks, right? Because I think the Saudi show, I believe it's either in mid-June or late June. I'm not really sure which one it is, but I'll look into it. But I think it's going to be in, let's just say, late June. So we got to wait for a good 4 to 6 weeks until, we get another match between Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns, right? What was the point of Jacob attacking Roman twice? He attacked him at the pay-per-view, and theoretically, Roman should have been not even on this show at all. Roman should be in a hospital bed for, a couple weeks, right? To sell everything, right? And just saying, hey, look, when he shows back up, he's going to get his hands on Jacob. That's what I'd be doing. Maybe they're going to insert Zilla Fatu at some point in this thing. And if they do, they need to insert him immediately when it comes to the Saudi show. They need to insert him in that immediately. So we need to see him there. But hopefully Roman will be gone for at least until early June, right? So hopefully this works out. I don't know. I'm at my wit's end with this shit. I really am. This show was not good. It was a waste of time. And it is what it is, man. Raw is basically just the same thing on as SmackDown, really. But it is what it is. What do you guys think about the show? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.